Hi, my name's Erica. I'm a senior at the University of Michigan, and I'm going to be a Maid of Honor in one of my best friend's weddings. That's this coming September. To start off, so how many people do I know that are engaged or that are brides already? I know about 5 to 10 people, and I feel like this number has been getting bigger in recent years. Not really sure why. I feel like people are either getting married a lot younger or waiting till they're well into their 30s. Not like how it was when my parents were married. They were in their mid 20s. I feel like that was more common back then, but today it's a little younger. I know a few brides who are still in college, some who have even not gone to 4-year universities, just kind of either went right out of high school to a job or did like a 2-year university. I feel like it's more common for those type of people to be getting married younger. And I kind of feel like people are a little pressured to get married younger just because they want to, start a family, have the American dream, a few kids, the big white wedding dress, and also I think all of the TV shows are impacting how many people are trying to get married younger, such as, Teen Mom, all of those 16 and pregnant people feel like they want to get married so they can start having kids and just moving on with their lives. Okay, so how do I know the bride? We met actually at dance. We both danced competitively at a studio together, and we also went to the same junior high and high school. So she became one of my close friends through dance, and then we started hanging out at school as well. She still lives at home and goes to a school nearby where we grew up in Michigan, and I go to the University of Michigan, which is about an hour away from where we are from. So I don't get to see her that much, but we're still very close, and whenever we get the chance, to catch up, it's like we see each other all the time. So I wasn't really surprised when she asked me to be her maid of honor. I figured I consider her one of my very best friends, and we've talked about our weddings when we were younger. She even wrote in my yearbook when we were in like 7th or 8th grade something about our weddings and how we should stand up in each other's. So I'm very honored to have been chosen. Um, so this is my first time that I'm going to be standing up in a wedding. Aside from when I was younger, I was a flower girl for a family wedding. But this is the first, real deal, helping plan it, and one of my friends. I think it's really cool. I often tell my friends that I'm going to be like in 27 dresses, the girl who's always in the weddings, helping plan the weddings, but then being the last to actually get married, which I don't know, that makes me a little sad, but I still think it's really fun to be a part of people's special days, and I'm really excited to help Lauren with her wedding. So as far as what I'm looking most forward to for my bridesmaid responsibilities, I would say definitely planning the bachelorette party, especially since this friend of mine is pretty wild and crazy, and I know I'm going to have to make it a fun night because she wouldn't want it any other way. So yeah, that's definitely one big thing. I know with Pinterest, it's becoming, a ton of stuff. People pin about weddings all the time. There's a lot of great ideas on there. So although the wedding's not until September, I've been pinning quite a bit, and I can't wait to use some of those ideas. We've gotten together and I've helped her talk about florists, cakes, all kinds of stuff like that. I'm really into like the design aesthetic of things, so I'm hoping I get to help her a huge say in that. Although she's very opinionated and she likes what she likes, which it's her day, so she should. So I'm trying not to sway her into my, style, but it is fun to help plan the decorations, help her figure out, where she's going to get the catering from, and just kind of take a load off of her shoulders and make it run as smoothly as possible. Another big thing that I was looking forward to was obviously getting the bridesmaids' dresses, and that is something we already did. We went to, I believe, 2 to 3 different bridal stores, and she actually found the dress she wanted in a magazine. They didn't even have it in person, so she had us try on similar styles and said that she was ordering it. I thought that was a little risky because I would have wanted to try on the exact dress before ordering them, but that's okay. I'm sure they'll look really pretty. She did a deep purple one-shouldered dress, so that was a really fun. I've always, after seeing Bridesmaids, I've always imagined going and picking out the bridesmaids' dresses, and that was a great time. Okay, so now what am I a little nervous about for the wedding and my responsibilities? I guess I would say the speech. That makes me, I mean, sometimes I've talked in front of large audiences, but I don't know her family that well, and everyone that's going to be invited. Me and the fiance are not very close. I just haven't gotten that much time to spend with him. So I'm a little nervous about making that speech because I know I won't want to mess it up. I want it to be perfect, but I'm sure, I've got plenty of time to rehearse and plan, and I'm sure that'll end up turning out just great. Another thing I've noticed while helping Lauren plan her wedding is that there's definitely some conflict between her and her fiance. For example, she wants cupcakes at her wedding, and he does not want cupcakes anywhere near his wedding. And I, was trying to come in as the mediator and say, like, why don't you do cupcakes and a cake? But he was not sliding at all. So I just thought that was funny. I'm hoping when I get married someday that whatever I want, my husband will be able to make a compromise in order to, make me most happy. So I was just surprised that her fiance was not budging on that. So we'll see. Hopefully he'll learn to let her get some more things she wants since it is her wedding. Okay, so as far as money that I'm going to have to spend for this, I know that since we're in college, we don't have huge budgets for this kind of stuff. Luckily, this is the first wedding, so we'll be able to spend a little bit more. We won't have, like 20 different weddings in the same season to worry about. So she even mentioned that since she's the first one out of our friend group to get married, we may all be able to spend a little bit more money on things, which will be good. I know the bridesmaid's dress is around $250, and she wanted to keep it $300 or under just because she knew that we wouldn't be putting a ton of money into this because we can't afford it being poor college students. Also for other things, I know one of my sister's best friends just was the maid of honor for her sister's wedding, and all the things she did, she was, telling me about, and that's great and all, but I just don't think that I'll be able to put that much money into this at this point in time, and I don't think Lauren expects me to pay that much either. So I'll definitely help out where I can, suggest ideas, but I know another thing, for example, the bachelorette party, I'll be asking people to pay. That's what my sister's best friend did for her sister's wedding. She had people pay for the limo or, just a little fee because that's a lot to put on one person to expect them to pay for everything. So I don't think the money will be a huge issue because I'm pretty sure that Lauren understands where we are with the money and who's expected to pay for what. Okay, so as far as all the bridesmaids, it's me and then two other girls who we went to high school with. The two other girls went to kindergarten with the bride and have known her ever since. One of them was on dance team with me and the bride, Lauren, and so we're all pretty close. The three of them knew each other from elementary school, so they have a certain different friendship that I'm not a part of, but that's fine too. I still get along with, both of those girls really well. The other two bridesmaids, one is her sister-in-law and the other is one of her younger cousins. So it's kind of interesting. The younger cousin is, I believe, 14, so that's, harder for her when we're going to be 21, 22. She's a little bit younger, so thinking she might feel a little left out at times. Like, for example, her mom came to the bridesmaid's dress fitting with her. But, I think it's going to work fine. Obviously, the sister-in-law, I don't know. We don't really know her at all, but I'm sure she'll fit in. I've met her a few times. She seems like a nice girl. I know the bride doesn't really like her, but she knew that she had to have her in the wedding. So I don't know. I feel like when I get married, I'm not going to say like, ooh, I need to have her. I'm just going to pick the girls that I really love that I want to be there for my wedding. One of the bridesmaids is a little, I would say, controlling and quite a perfectionist, more so than me. So at times I'm a little scared that she's going to try to control things, similar to what happens in Bridesmaids with the girl's new best friend trying to overstep the responsibilities of Maid of Honor. So, and this bridesmaid's mother is also loves getting involved in things, loves having things her way. So I'm a little scared that those two might try to run the show, but hopefully, it'll be the bride and then the maid of honor and then the bridesmaids. So far we haven't had any issues. I'm just anticipating that there could be a little trouble with that. The bride's behavior has changed slightly now that she's got the wedding. She's going to school. She's also working at a dance studio and coaching a high school dance team, so she's got a lot on her plate. Currently, she lives with her mom and her fiance, and I feel like I've noticed her becoming a little bit more, tense, stressed out at times, just trying to balance everything, her social life, her work life, her family, the wedding, and it all obviously is going to be hard to do. She, like I mentioned before, the few little conflicts with the fiance and what each of them wants at the wedding, I feel like that's causing a little bit of issues for her, but I don't know. I still think she's her crazy, happy self, and I don't think she'll be changed that much after the wedding. I'm sure she'll still be the Lauren Bowden that we all know. Just a few other general things I've noticed while helping her plan the wedding. I think that Pinterest is really changing the way these things are done and, causing people to maybe think about marriage a little bit younger. I know some girls always, dreamed of their big day and they played with their Barbie dolls, but now with Pinterest and everything so accessible, it's becoming more of a possibility and less of a dream. And I think girls are, drawing to that and maybe looking more to finding their Prince Charming sooner. Another thing, not exactly related to weddings, I've noticed though, is a lot of girls from my high school are having children, not even, skipping past the marriage part. I'm not sure if that probably some of those weren't planned that way, but there are quite a few girls that I graduated with who are now mothers and not married, and I think that's just an interesting dynamic that's becoming more and more popular and more relevant for young girls today. Another thing with weddings, I didn't realize how much actually goes into it, how many things, you have to get the venue, you have to do the seating arrangements, the dress, the food, the bridal registry. There's a lot involved, and that's why it really is never too early to start planning. And I do think it's handy. A lot of the sites like the knot.com have calendars, and they help you plan the status and like where you should be, kind of like a wedding checklist. And I think that comes in handy for brides who are overwhelmed with everything that they're doing. Thank you, and I hope you enjoyed everything I have to say about weddings. I'm looking very much forward to being the maid of honor in Lauren's wedding in September. Bye.